Well, hello everybody, and this is Auntie, and I am here to do my review of Married at First Sight, season 19, episodes 1 through 4. Hopefully, I can get through this. I'ma need y'all downtown in the comments section to help your old auntie with this one. Let's do it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, and my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. Sweet old. It's time for Auntie Advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for Auntie Advice. So welcome back everybody, and we are back with Married at First Sight. First of all, welcome. I am Auntie, okay? User EB181 said I couldn't finish it. It was boring. Well, hopefully I will breathe some life into it for you, okay? Y'all, I totally did not know that I did not have it set up on Peacock for me to record it. That was number one. Number two, I did not know that they were doing a Love is Blind type of thing and dropping 4 episodes at one time. So I am behind, but I am now on notice. I have been served that this comes on Thursdays and that they drop 4 episodes. So hopefully I will be able to get them to you on Friday since we are on hiatus from Love After Lockup. Hoping everybody had a great day. I am exhausted, but I was like, I got to get out of here. Members, make sure you got your notification bells on because I'm going to be doing a couple of videos with you all right after this one. Okay. Hey, Miss Kelly. Hey, Bryn. Hello there. Hello there. Hey, Ray Della. Okay, so I took notes because these are new people. Child, I don't know them. I meant to bring up my little thing. Hold on, let me see something. Wait a minute. Hold on. Can y'all believe that we have been doing this for 19? Okay. 19 seasons. I started doing Married at First Sight season 1, episode 1. Okay, y'all, like for real. So it's going to take me a while to do some of this, right? Um, just 1 second, y'all. Hi, everybody. It was. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly. Hello there, Nathan. Okay, y'all. So let's get into it. So I'm going to be introducing these people, right? Bringing them up on the screen as we go through them. Let me go over here to my media and pull up their pictures if I can. And if I get these mofo names wrong, just know by the middle of the season, I'll know who in the hell is who in the hell. Okay, so let me see Who am I bringing up? Okay. I didn't know these pictures was going to be this fuzzy, but they are so fuzzy. I apologize. I'll get some better ones. Thank you, CMH. So happy to catch a live. Happy Sunday, Auntie and cousins. Happy Sunday to you as well. So this couple right here, this is Josh. Is this Josh? No, this is not Josh. No, this is not Josh. Hold on. God dang it, that's exact. I can beat myself up. I put the same picture up here 3 times and did not capture him. Ah, this is Megan and Derek. Where's my picture of Josh? Okay, I think this is Josh. Is this Josh? Girl, you need to get your shit together. George is 31 years old. He's a contractor. He is in a secure, emotionally mature phase of his life and feels truly ready for marriage. Growing up without a steady family life, he's eager to create the stable living family he's always desired. He believes his bold leap of faith, with the help of the experts, could lead to his perfect match. And of course, we all know that he is going to be married to Jalen. She's 27 years old. She's a realtor. He's a contractor. After a turbulent experience with dating, Jalen, okay, took a step back from her love life to focus on her career and herself. Now thriving professionally and secure in who she is, she knows this once in a lifetime journey is the perfect way to find true love once and for all. Allegedly. Now, um, I have that Josh says that he wants a woman who is affectionate, right? We see him talking to his grandmother. Now, he indicated that his mother went to prison when he was 3 years old. So, automatically off the brickety break, these are my opinions. Y'all put y'all's downtown in the comment section. Automatically off the break, he got woman issues, mommy issues, and all of that. And I don't care how good he look on paper. I don't care how sweet he is. I suspect that there are going to be some turbulent waters with the two of them. And he said that, his mother had made a lot of promises, right? She was locked up from the age of 3 till he was 16 years old. He said his mother made a lot of promises that she could not keep. So keep that in mind as we continue to go through this for the rest of the season, because this is going to be an issue. The moment her ass don't do something that she promised to do, I believe he's going to be triggered. He is coming off as the perfect gentleman and nice and all that kind of stuff, y'all, but I just got issues. Now, he has a relationship with his grandmother, and I'm supposing that the grandmother that he has a relationship is his mother's mother, because he indicated that he grew up all that time not knowing who his father was. He said that he took a simple DNA test and that a cousin or a sister, who was it? Hold on. And an aunt reached out to him. He said he had met his dad. He had just met his dad, who he did not even know that he existed. He said that the dad has been hitting him up and stuff like that and sends him, nice little lovey little stuff in the morning time and, keep up with him and stuff. But this is a danger zone right here. And, one of the things about being mature, right, no matter how age you are or how old you are, right, but when you're mature, you can read trigger spots. and different things like that. You may hope, right? It is my hope that these things that I am going to be surmising or have an opinion on are correct. But this boy got mommy issues. The only person he's had is his grandmother. He has a relationship with his dad, but the relationship is not that tight. He is used to being what they call a window baby, with his mother making promises and stuff like that to him and never coming through with it. He is a red flag. Point blank and period. I don't know. No, I ain't even gonna say I don't know. I would not want my daughter to date a man who has this stuff going on, no matter how he has built himself up. He indicated that, he really wasn't doing that well at first. He just had a regular job. And then he ended up going from 0 to 500K, which means he's new money. He is not accustomed to having money and all of that old kind of old crap, right? So, right, and if I'm talking about the same, if I talk about Josh, he has a roofing company. And he went from making nothing to 50K. He said that when he was talking about what he liked, he said that he liked smaller and thin women and he wanted someone who was going to be able to communicate with him. And I was like, okay, all right, you saying that now. But let's see what happens later on. You never can judge a book by its cover, right? You have to absolutely try to read at least the chapters, right? You got to at least read the table of contents. And for him, I'm reading the table of contents on what's happening in chapter 7, what happened in chapter 1. Like, I really want to know what the whole book is. I don't want to look at the cover of this guy because he's coming off really sweet and got it all together. No, he got some demons that I'm sure that he has to deal with. He looked just like his grandmother. I really did like him and all of that kind of stuff. Now we got Jalen, who's coming from a family where her dad was, a baseball player. She said that as long as her mother and her father were married to each other, she had never seen open affection. Never seen any type of open affection between the two of them. They eventually got divorced, right? And they seem like a very wholesome family. They're really close to their mother and stuff like that. Her father showed up, woo woo woo. Now, as you all know, or for those who don't know, the premise of this is that you marry somebody sight unseen. You don't know their name. You know nothing about them. Hey, boo, how are you? Welcome, sweetie. So I just was like, okay, it's going to be some going on with them, right? It's going to be some going on with them because she's never seen open affection. While we have seen that she's been very affectionate with him right now, we just don't know, right? But I mean, I don't want to, be getting down with the getting down, but y'all know how I roll out here on the Married at First Sight, okay? And so she is just, like into him and stuff like that. Jalen said that, she is frugal with her money and she's a gym instructor and she's also into real estate. And I'm just like, how in the world can two of those things be the same? She said that she wear her tennis shoes out. I doubt it because people that's doing aerobic instructions and stuff like that, they have on the newest and the finest of everything, especially when it comes down to their business. But I'm just like, okay, we're gonna listen to what she said, and we're gonna keep it moving. She said that her parents stayed together for the kids just to make sure that they raised them up in a stable environment. But what I have learned is that, that is not always good, right? Because kids can read between the lines because she is now, 27 years old and realizes that there was never any affection in her family. She know her mama and her daddy won't fill in each other like that. Okay. You can't hide things from kids. Kids, they learn. The next couple that got married, child, was this hot mess express of a couple already off the brickety break. I mean, when I tell you that this girl got some serious problems, and so does he, They got some serious issues with communication. Moreover, when when we saw him, right, interacting with her father, and her father was asking questions, he never really answers questions. Like, he shot the father down, shot him up. Y'all, what is this on me? This is bothering me. Okay. He shot the father down when the father started asking him questions about religion and all that kind of stuff. He just absolutely shot him down, told him, why he ain't into it and all of that. No, just answer the motherfucking question. Like, he's a sarcastic son of a, and don't want to listen to anything anybody got to say. And I just was kind of done with him. But let me tell y'all, who he is and what he is about. Okay, these couples, I don't know. I'm just, talking off my dome. I don't see none of these people staying together. So Will and Brittany. Will is 30 years old. He's a consultant. After dedicating years to his college education and establishing a career, Will is finally ready for marriage, financially secure and confident with where he's at. Will admits he hasn't been the best at choosing partners for himself. That's why he turned to marry at first sight, right? Now, Brittany is a strategic HR business partner. Brittany has dreamed of being a wife for as long as she can remember, but in adulthood, her relationship seemed to halt at the 3-month mark, leaving her longing for something deeper. After previously applying to Married at First Sight and not being matched, Brittany now appreciates her second chance as fate and is drawn to a process that starts off with the ultimate commitment. Now, y'all know last year we had a KG. EKG had signed up for this show multiple times, right? And when he got on the show, he was a complete and fucking failure. Excuse my language. Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. He was a failure. Now we got the female version, in my humble opinion, of a KG running behind the show, moving probably from city to city to be on this show. That's a red flag. I think that once they get rejected and they don't get a match, they should never come back on here again. Never apply to be on this show. Why in the is she back? Why did she get a second chance? We see she don't know how to act. We already see that. Y'all let me know down in the chat. Don't be quiet. Don't be quiet. Why is she getting a second chance? They should stop doing that. It didn't work the first time. It ain't going to work this time. But they done matched her with Will. Now, they are talking, Dr. Calvin, Dr. Pathia, whatever her name is, and Dr. Pepper need to retire from this. I sat there and listened to them, and they decide that, because these people have a certain amount of things in common, that they're good. I have found in my life, and I don't know if y'all have found it yours. Y'all let me know in the comment section, because y'all too quiet for me, okay? I need y'all to be talking. But what I have found is that opposites really do attract. Now, he is starting his career and he's comfortable where he is. She already got a house and everything else. Ain't no way in the world that I will want, right? And I mean, and I'm just talking for myself. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section. But I being established the way that I am, I don't want a man who's just establishing himself. I don't. I got too many assets, too many things to lose to be in a relationship with somebody who just getting started. Like I guess because I'm older too, I'm not in it for a build-a-bear. I just don't want a build-a-bear. And I think that a man should come with his stuff. I think that after a certain amount of years, and this is just my opinion, no shade to nobody, but if you're a man of a certain age, you should have property. You should not be still living in an apartment paying rent every month. That's so unattractive. That's so unattractive because it just shows me that you're willing to throw money away month after month after month instead of getting your own. And why would I want to step back into someone who is a rental, right? And then here this man is, right, gonna have to move into my place. And that may make him feel emasculated, even if I don't emasculate him or I don't say anything about him. Just moving into my female house is going to be an issue because you got this girly, this, the bathroom. Well, my bathroom's not so girly, but it's just a woman's place. It's a woman's house. And now I got to redo all my stuff to make room for you. When if you a man and I'm a woman and we both got our properties right, then we understand home ownership. We understand about the finances. We understand about making sure you got, 6 months of mortgage. We understand like all of that stuff, right? It's just a certain amount, it's a certain mentality, right? And it's not for everybody because people lose their houses every day. But there's a certain mentality that you have when you get this on your own and off your own back. And I don't want a man that I gotta build. I don't want a man that I gotta say no. This ain't my house. This our house. No, this my house. And any other property that I own is mine. And I don't want to have to be feeding that ego. Men, if you at a certain age, you should have your own place. And I ain't talking about an apartment. I'm talking about something you own. And I said it. Own something. And if you got a car, you shouldn't have a car now. If you ain't got no house and you live in an apartment, what are you doing? I don't know why they thought that she was a good match with him because she's not. She's way over him. And so she's going to look at him. I'm telling you, people may not admit it, y'all, but you do look like, In my opinion, she already looking down at him because she done probably already set up in the bed, and had a conversation with him about what he got and what he don't. Will said that he wants someone who is going to challenge him. No, he don't. No, he don't. He don't want nobody going to challenge him because his friends was in there in his suite, in the bridal suite, telling him, pumping him up. Yes, they did. Brittany says that she wants somebody that has stability. She has a house instability already, so that's what she wants. What's going on here? She came from a two-parent household, um, but she didn't see affection in her household either. Even though her mom and her dad are still together, that wasn't in her household. What's wrong with these parents not showing any affection? So he said that he's comfortable with his life and his potential. He's dated on Tinder before and said that he was dating a married woman. So he don't have no boundaries. He don't have no boundaries or respect for the unification that comes with being married. And what the fuck is he doing on Tinder? I'll wait. She believes that. What did I put on here? She believes that starting at a commitment with him, everything else will come. That is not true. It ain't even in divine order, but okay. She said there's a lot of single women in her life, and she did not want that for herself. She talked about her sister Ebony passing away from COVID back in 2020. While Josh was in his room getting ready and everything to prepare, we all know that a lot of times they share different gifts. So Jalen sent him over a Jayla sent him over a package and it had, a couple of things in it and some pom poms. She said that she wanted to be and was going to be his biggest cheerleader. And that really touched him, right? And so, he says that he is going to try his best to make her happy. Now, when we go back and we talk about Brittany, okay, and I'm just introducing these couples right now, y'all, okay? So when we talk about Brittany, Brittany says she wants to give the marriage experience to her family. So she feels like, she had a sister who was married who did not have a wedding. And then she's got another sister who's single and another sister who passed away. So she feels like she owes her mother and father a marriage experience of seeing a daughter walk down in a white gown. That's a lot of pressure putting on yourself. Brittany says that the worst thing that can happen is that he does not like her. He does not like what he is looking at. And she hopes that she is attracted to him. Now, Brittany asked, once they got married and all of that kind of stuff, they said their vows. And Brittany's dad asked him whether or not he was a baller. Because of course you all know that, her father walked her down the aisle and all that kind of stuff. She had the conversation and the father was like, look, I want him to be, a good man to you. You know how I'm gonna get. So Brittany's dad asked if he was a baller. I guess because he's tall and stuff like that. And he was like, no, he played, more so when he was in high school. And so the dad assumed that he was religious and asked him, whether or not he was Baptist, Pentecostal, apostolic, Catholic or whatever. And he basically was like, no, I ain't none of that. So the dad was like, I mean, but you do love God, right? You do got some kind of religion. And he was like, no, and neither does my family. And then he went on to tell him that, basically he had went to a Christian school or some type of religious school, and why he doesn't believe in it and stuff like that. And I was like, he really didn't answer the dad's question. He really was challenging the father and basically, dodging the real answers that the father really wanted from him. He knew what the father wanted from him, but he was dodging them. The dad was very uncomfortable with his answers. The dad asked him if he can handle a strong woman. And he was like, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, I ain't going to control her. That's not what he asked. He knows how to dodge, right? And say stuff without answering the questions. Her dad tells him to try his best to make her happy. Then the next day we have in episode 2, we meet Megan and Derek. So let me bring them up. Okay, let me bring them up. I think that they're a disaster as well. This is just absolutely not going to work because her mother was side eyeing her and gritting on her the whole entire time. Megan is 37 years old. She has been single for 7 years. Megan had perpetually struggled with work-life balance while juggling her family business and a blooming real estate career. She's tired of dating apps. She is ready to trust the experts in finding her a partner in love. Now, Derek is 38 years old. He's a chief automator. Derek has lived and dated all over the world, but he always known surface level connections weren't enough for him. An entrepreneur in health and wellness, his ambitious and passionate about longevity and balance, and he wants an equal to share those values with him. He believes that Married at First Sight offers the chance to find love as grounded and meaningful as the life that he has built. He says that he is in e-commerce, although on Peacock it says that he's a chief automator. I don't know what the difference is. Y'all let me know. He said that he's in a co-health and wellness business. Megan says that she can be with someone who makes less than her, but he, what did I write? But he is still working on himself, which means that she is not going to be satisfied with somebody who she feels is up underneath her, like point blank and period. Her mother was very rude. The mother seems like she really doesn't care too much for Megan. I don't know what kind of relationship they have and whether or not that's going to come out, y'all. But I'm going to tell you right now, did y'all see the way that her mother was looking at her? And every time she said something, the mother was just negative. I just was like, what the fuck is going on between her relationship with her mother? It seems like Megan, even with the sister, I mean, the family and everybody that was around, that she has surface relationships with people. She says that she's an introverted person, but this isn't being introverted. This is just being weird. Okay. She's just weird to me. She says she has not had sex in 2 years, but now wants it every day with him, right? And she said that she has frozen her eggs because she don't want that to be an issue. Her mom Kathy does not want this to be wants her to be married this way. She's been married to her husband for the last 40 years, and she knows that it's been hard. She sent for a wedding gift to Derek a one of them little water things that you get in them ice things where you take those ice baths and stuff like that. And I just was like, oh my God, it was a huge assumption that the man on the other end would be willing to do something like that. Of course, he says that this is something that he does anyway. And so, he did it. Nobody walked Megan down the aisle. Megan said that her father, I believe, had to go and get some skin off his nose because he got cancer or something like that. I think that's what she said. But she wasn't willing to let her mother walk her down the aisle. And honey, you could see it all on the mother face that there's some things that the mother definitely needs to get off of her chest. And I think eventually those things will come off the mother's chest. We're gonna find out what the relationship is between her, because she said that she with the family business, but she's basically balancing everything, and that right now she's with a therapist. Now, there ain't nothing wrong with therapy. You get therapy where you need therapy, but I think that she got some family issues that's deep enough to swim in, and it has caused her to be introverted. It's caused her to shut her mouth. It has caused her to feel like she needs to stand in the background. You understand? Y'all understand what I'm saying? Something's going on. Derek's family look like they're old money, honey. When the daddy came up there, and the mama was just gorgeous, okay? You could just tell money. But the dad came up there with the little curl on the beard, child. I said, okay, they got some daggone money with them. The next couple that I want to talk about is Rhonda and Pat. Pat is all over the place. She gets on my nerve. I know she's living her best life, but she's got, kids and stuff too. Let me give y'all a little background on Rhonda. Okay, because Rhonda got on my nerve. Good. When I say Rhonda got on my nerve, Rhonda got on my nerve, but so did Pat. So they maybe they perfectly paired up with each other. I don't know, but she got on my nerves something terrible. So Rhonda is 63 years old. She's a performance marketing executive. She's a true romantic at heart. She has been on a 25-year search for love. She's twice married. She raised 4 kids and now craves a partner to share her next chapter with. After crazy experiences on dating apps, she couldn't be more ready to put her trust in these matchmakers' hands. Pat, 59 years old, is a space operations consultant. He was married for 30 years, but once his kids left for college, he prioritized his own needs, which led to a divorce. Since then, he's had relationships, but none with that special spark. Pat believes there are no guarantees in life, and the scariest risks are the most rewarding. With his advantageous spirit and open heart, Pat is eager to see his high stakes journey. Pat equated dating to shopping at a thrift store. He said dating is like shopping at a thrift store. You are trying to find the most least broken thing that does not smell. What kind of bullshit is that? A thrift store? The most least broken thing? That's not a positive. That's not positive at all. I was like, what the poor Rhonda. Poor Rhonda. Rhonda said that she married her husband 3 months after meeting him. Her first husband, she ended up leaving him because she said he just would not get a job. Child, and then she had 4 children, and then her ex-husband did not. What did I write? Something. Pat was married for 30 years. Rhonda's son said he is worried about her. He is worried about her. Oh my God, why do I write like this? He's worried about her. My way is the highway attitude. She came down in a red wedding dress because she did not want to wear white. And I just was like, okay, girl, work it. Okay. I thought it was inappropriate. I thought that it should have at least been blue or something like that. But you know what you do. She was wild and off the hook. She seems like she's best friends with her kids. She has a beautiful family, but she off the chain, child. Pat, mom showed up and said that she would. He said that he would die trying to make this relationship work. Rhonda didn't even remember his name after she married him. I just was like, child, that's because she all over the place, okay? She is all over the place. I mean, when I say Rhonda's all over the place, she's all over the place after they got married and stuff like that. She jumped up in the swimming pool with him. And I think that, she's trying to show that she got like this little spunk to life and all this old kind of stuff. But I was like, girl, no. So then we had Chad and okay, wait a minute, let me find Chad and them. Let me read to y'all about Chad and them, and then I'll change the picture as well. And I'm gonna get some better pictures, y'all. I know these pictures was coming off like this. I love them. I love them. This is Jalen's mom. This year we have a mother and a daughter getting married on the show. Of course, she already got married. And this is, her mom. Her mom was married to her dad. They stayed together for the kids. And he's been married 3 times. He didn't really say really even why he wasn't in here. Why he wasn't married. No more. He really basically did not give an explanation. But let me give y'all their background. Chad has never embraced the bachelor lifestyle. He's always preferred to be in a relationship. Though divorced 3 times, he's learned invaluable lessons and refuses to give up hope. After 3 years of being single, he's ready to try again, this time putting his trust in the hands of experts. He said, and this says that he learned valuable lessons. Who said he did? Anyway, he married Belinda, who was 47 years old and absolutely stunning. I mean, gorgeous. Belinda is excited to embark on this meaningful adventure, knowing she has so much love to give. Having finally healed from her parents' divorce, as well as her own, she carries instrumental wisdom for this next chapter, open to the experts' guidance and committed to putting in the work. She's determined to build love at last. Let me just show this woman's picture because her picture need to be shown. Okay, go ahead and open that up, Auntie. You need to go ahead and open that up. Girlfriend is absolutely stunning to me. Hold on. Okay, you in the wrong spot. That ain't where you supposed to be. You supposed to be right here. Peacock, right? Gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And I mean gorgeous. I love her gray hair. She has the brown dye that she said I ain't dyeing it no more. That's how my hair is too. My hair is like gray, like at the roots and at the top and stuff like that. But the rest of it is brown. I don't like it at all. But I'm like, she's gorgeous. They seemed to like really hit it off. They had a great time with everybody. I just was like, okay, like they doing good and everything. So the couples are off. They're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We're in episode 3. The couples that they've got married, they all have to, made a decision on where they going. And, they said that they was going to be doing the Mile High Club and all that kind of dumb stuff, right? They're just, meeting each other. The couples find out, that the two women, like they are mommy and daughter and stuff like that. On the way to the airport, Chad pulled over and got a wedding band for his missus because he said, what you not going to do is walk around with that band. Now, as we all know, Married at First Sight for the last 18 seasons gives out diamond rings. Peacock said, Peacock said, we ain't got that to do. Y'all getting a band. That's what y'all getting. Everybody getting a band. So, they had to, he decided that, she was going to be his woman and she was going to have her a nice ring. And so he pulled over. He's a real estate executive. I really believe that Chad got a lot of money too. Because, because Chad carries himself as if he does. Now, if he doesn't, I'd be shocked, but he act like he got some coins in his pocket. So anyway, he gets her the ring and everything. They all fly over there, and woo 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 woo. And so now I'm going to be just talking about highlights that happened in each of these episodes, right, y'all? So hold on, let me bring up my notes that I actually typed because I typed some of my notes. So, in my opinion, this is when we started really seeing everything. So, I'm going to be mixing in between episode 3 and 4 and going to be talking about some things that I really wanted to talk about and really wanted to expound on. It appears that Josh and Jalen are really, really getting along. And at first, I thought that Megan was too. But the cracks are starting to show with Megan. When of course when the couples get on the honeymoon, everybody wants to know whether or not they have made love with each other. I think that that is very private. That's not something that I will be talking about at all. Like at all, like at all, at all. I like the two of them because they came back to their hotel room, and when they were at their hotel room, he was she had buttons. Wedding dresses are complicated to get in and out of, and so he was unbuttoning the buttons for her and everything. And he was like, okay, so now we down at the zipper park, you want me to get that? And she said, no, I'm gonna go in the bathroom. She said, but you can come in here and do it. Okay. Then we also know that Pat, that all girl Pat, I mean Rhonda and Pat, we know daggone well they hit it. It wasn't no ifs, ands, and buts about that she was going to be with the science teacher. Okay? She was supposed to get her man. She didn't care how she got her man. Long as she got her man, she's going to get her man. The rest of the couples did not really, do anything. I think that Megan and them did, but she ain't gonna talk about it because she's just that type of girl, right? But we could tell who got some or who didn't get some. But I really don't even think it's important, right, that we know all of their business and stuff like that. The two of them are getting along just smart. Like they act like they have been dating each other for a very long time. She's very comfortable. You can tell that her mother really raised her. She's a solid type of woman and all of that kind of stuff. But we absolutely start seeing some cracks in some of these relationships, and we're going to talk about that. So let me go to my notes. Let me bring them up. So one of the relationships that we really starting to see the cracks in is Brittany and Will. But there were cracks in Brittany and Will because he wasn't even upfront with her father about stuff. Like, let's just go head on and tell the truth and shame the devil up in God's house. He was never even straight up with her father. So let me bring this couple up, and I'm going to talk about, a couple of, I just pulled some excerpts from some of this stuff, right? I just said that I wanted to talk about it. So, they had, the first night they didn't do anything and all of that kind of stuff, right? But it appears that they, was trying to get something going. And so Brittany says, we see them laying up in the bed, and I'm reading from my notes. So Brittany says, I guess I'm processing how I'm feeling. The night was good. It just didn't end very well last night. So she was like, we get closer, we got intimate. I don't know what intimate means, whether or not she is saying intimate in lieu of we had sex. Oh, I couldn't understand it. I think I understood it, but y'all let me know down in the chat. So she said, we got intimate. I think we both had a moment of like, oh crap, did we take all the necessary precautions we were supposed to? So that lets me know that nobody brought anything, right, to the party. Nobody brought anything to the party. That's just irresponsible, in my opinion. Because I don't know if they test these people. Anyway, she said, she said, we was like, oh crap, did we take all the necessary precautions we were supposed to? That worried me a little bit, but I think it really became a thing where your reaction was like, hey, I see that this is worrying you. Maybe we shouldn't do this again. She said, after that, things felt weird. Things felt weird for you. If you don't have any precautions, you didn't bring anything, nobody got up and went to the all night 7-Eleven, y'all didn't go to the gas station and stay up all night, then why isn't this him being considerate? Looking at your reaction, maybe possibly not being getting pregnant. Like, y'all grown people, nobody should have to provide a condom for you or protection. Nobody should have to ask you whether or not you filled your prescription for your birth control. Like, that's just totally immature for anybody to think that it is their peacock's responsibility, production's responsibility, their mama, their daddy, their sister, their brother to provide that for you. You have to, your health and your safety, right, is on you. It's on you. So neither one of them thought to bring anything. Where they do that at and they grown? If you know that you're going to be active, you should have something to protect yourself. So you don't have these oops. Unless it's your intention to get pregnant. And then when he says, okay, I see you feeling some kind of way. Now and he backing off. Now you like, why would you back off? Because we don't have nothing and you act like you getting ready to pass out. She said it became a thing. And it felt weird to me when you backed off and said, hey, I see this is bothering you. Maybe we shouldn't do this again. So she said, so I thought, oh, is this something where you're regretting? It sounds like it was something you were regretting. And that was just a weird feeling for me. I didn't like it. He said, I was a little confused after our conversation last night, like about what is the best way for us to carry on with our evening and our night. After I got closer, I felt responsible for you feeling bad. So he's taking accountability and ownership and carrying the weight of both of y'all not being prepared. He said, as after we got closer, I felt almost responsible for you feeling bad, and I didn't know how to handle that. She said, it's like we just got closer, and then your immediate response from my perspective was, hey, maybe we shouldn't do that. And for me, that's not what I want to hear. Well, go down to the 7-Eleven. She said, I wanted to hear more like, oh, hey, it's okay. I don't regret anything that happened. We're here. We're together. We're happy. Whatever happens, we can work on it together. But that didn't happen. Well, how did you approach the man? It seems like you came and said, oh, my God. Oh, my God, I don't want to be pregnant. Oh, my God, what? She didn't take no responsibility for not having her together. All of this responsibility now falls on him. And when he tries to take any type of responsibility, ownership, and problem solve, because most men are problem solvers, now he wrong. He wrong for backing up and saying, hey, I see your reaction to this. Just want to make sure you're okay. Maybe we need to, lay off of it for a while. But then he got in trouble for wanting to I like, yo, I don't understand her. Like, that's weird. Then she says, after she made him aware that they did not have anything, she then turns around and contradicts herself by expecting him to say, whatever happens, happens. So basically, what she wants him to say, baby, if you get pregnant, you get pregnant. We together. Then if you did not care about it, then you shouldn't have said anything if your intention is to be pregnant. She said, I felt regret and then distance. And that kind of triggered me. So we coming in here with all kinds of triggers and problems. He don't know what button to push with you. And then you're sitting up there not communicating with the man about how you really feel. You want all the onus and the responsibility to be on him. Instead of just flat out saying what it is that you want to say. He got to guess and go through mind traps and Like, this is not going to work. I got triggered, and I don't do well when I feel like people are trying to pull away. He pulled out. Isn't that what you wanted him to do? Hey, simply Sabrina. Hey, boo. Hey, Melody. Hey, boo. What is going on with this book? Delusional. She said, for example, my ex and I were fine. And the first time we argued, his instinct was, hey, we're moving too fast. We should slow down. Maybe we should break up. That's always been the issue I've run into. First of all, you're on your wedding night, right? You're on a honeymoon, and you bringing up old relationships and what happened in those relationships as it relates to the relationship that you in right now. If that makes sense to y'all, what I just said. Will said, I did not say we should break up. We're married. I don't think that that's how it works. But yeah, but that's always been the issue that I found. You weren't ready for this. You weren't ready for this. Because you got trauma that you're bringing into this relationship. This has been the issue I found. But this is not what he said to you. She said, I mean, it's only been a few days, so we're still figuring out how to handle each thing. You invest emotion and feelings into something, and that's scary. Any relationship you start, you never really know how it's going to go, especially after everything that transpired. Maybe we just need to take our time with that. Is that cool? And Brittany was like, Will said, I did not sign up to be married just to pull back on our honeymoon. She said, but she gonna go at his pace, but she's just irritated. What the fuck? Derek is starting to see trouble water with Megan. We see Chad and his wife, they go out, they shopping, she in the dress, in the little shop and everything. They doing what they do with the woo woo and the boo boo boo. She sees a hat in it that she likes. I got a hat like that. I got a dog like that. And she was like, I saw the price on it. I don't want you to feel like, you gotta be buying nothing for me. And he was like, look, either I'm gonna buy it or I'm not gonna buy it, right? You don't tell me basically how to spend my money. I wanna be have a I wanna buy you some, I'm gonna buy it. But evidently she done found out that he got papers. In the meantime, in the between time, her daughter is having the time of the daughter's having the time of her life, and Rhonda and Pat, they over there having the time of their life right now. But she's side eyeing the out of him because he don't listen to nothing she say, and he don't care nothing about it. She picking it up. She listening to him and stuff like that. She trying to have patience with him, but shortly thereafter, Rhonda is like, I ain't got this to do with you, boo. This is like we ain't doing this. She said, I'm 63 years old and I am not going to sit up here and perpetrate the fraud. I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about stuff. Exactly how I feel about stuff. You ain't got, you act like you ain't hear nothing that I had to say. Nothing. She sat there and had a lunch with him, right? We're in episode 3 and 4, y'all, okay? Rhonda said he was out there talking and just chapping his gums about, how he into space and all this old kind of stuff. And, this is what he do with the woo whoop and the boo boo boo. He just talking and she just studied trying to eat and drink and everything. But after a while, Rhonda said, I ain't got this to do. Rhonda said, Wait a minute, let me bring up Rhonda, okay? Because these pictures is blurry. I shouldn't even bring them up. But Rhonda said, look, he's sitting up here just ready, just steady talking and bumping his gums. He ain't thought nothing about me. He don't care nothing about me. And what I'm not going to do is sit here on my honeymoon and act like it's all cool. So Rhonda was like, so let me ask you something, Pat, since you running your mouth all day. She said, so what have you noticed about me that's surprising? Given what you've learned about me in the first 24 hours we've been here. He said, surprisingly, nothing leaps to mind. Exactly, mother. Exactly. That's her point. That's her whole point for asking. She said, well, I think we've had an amazing connection and that we're going to have this fan freaking tastic future. Give me kids. Give me kids. He said, so you get nervous? She said, no, I'm just confused. But this is more about making you aware of what I'm feeling. This what this is up in here, pie. Trick. The short version of it is I don't feel in our conversations that you have any real interest in my life. He said, oh, I hope that I do. She said, well, it don't come across that way. She said, for instance, mother, this morning we were just sitting here having breakfast. I said, I kind of keep the TV on at night because I got robbed some time ago. And she said, you was like, yeah, I don't like TV. She said, every time I have recalled and told this story to other people, they was like, oh my God, you got robbed? She said, that's usually, what they do. Oh my God, you got robbed? Like, how, are you okay? She said, but you just carried on with your own thoughts. You ain't even. He said, well, when there's a pregnant pause or a moment of silence, I feel like I need to fill it in. Because sometimes it's different, you could, she said, mother, she said, but why aren't you talking and asking questions about me instead of talking about yourself? He said, I think I've asked you questions about you. She said, let me tell you something. That little statement that you just made, I've asked you questions, that's your defense. You're defending yourself instead of listening to me. Now I like you and I done gave you some and I'm gonna give you some again tonight. But I'm not criticizing you. I'm pointing out that I need you to be interested in me. And I don't feel like you're showing that interest in my life. He said, well, I'm not going to, defend myself. I'm just going to say I'm hugely interested in you, in your history, in your life. She said, then ask me a question then. Ask me a question. He said, so what was your dreams as a child? This mother, he didn't ask her about what happened last month, last year, nothing current. He gonna go to the easiest, most immature. What was your dreams as a child? She said, when I was a kid, I wanted to be named Jennifer. She said we would play games and my name would be Jennifer. He said, we didn't make up games when we was kids, we played G.I. Joe. She said, well, I was Jennifer. But I'm gonna stop you right there. Cause see, this is an example of what I was talking about. You went right back to you. He said, I was just trying to banter with you. She was like, but when you're interested in me, it should be about me. It shouldn't come back to, well, let me tell you how I align with it, or here's my experience with it. She said, I would love for you to just hear me, to hear my experience. She says, is that making sense to you? So now he patronizes her by saying, you're helping me to learn how to be present. She said, don't worry about it. I don't even need you to adore me. I believe in us and I believe in our future. And so next thing you know, she's sitting up there having a conversation, talking about her mother, and she crying. I said, girl, you can't be doing that crying now. If you want him to be interested in something that's going on, you need to stop that crying, okay? Because men don't like that. Meanwhile, in between time, George takes, his girl out, and he takes her up to the Panama Canal and gives her a ring. He's adventurous and doing stuff and all of that kind of stuff. Then we have the incident with Megan and Derek when they're going out. Megan has been pulling back, period, right? And it's very evident that Megan has been pulling back. And so he goes out, with Megan, and they go out there, do like that little, what do you call it? Surfing, waterboard, on the water, um, whatever. And so, she's out there for some reason. She acting like she got a stick up her butt. And so they get on the board and everything, and she's confident. They go out there, they train you what to do. You got the surfboard tied to you, so they have the little paddle. And so she gets on the, okay, let me change the picture. Hold on, let me change the picture. These old pictures is horrible, Lord. I ought to be ashamed of myself. Matter of fact, let me take it off. I'll get some cleaner one, y'all. I did not know. I did it from my cell phone, so I didn't know it was looking like that. Let me bring my nose back out. So Derek was like, so she got up on the thing and everything. She was, wasn't stable when she fell off. And so Derek was like, oh, okay, are you okay? And then he made a little, thing like, how does the water feel? And she was like, good, good. And so he was like, she said, I didn't think that you was just going to jump in. And he was like, my ring almost fell off, and that would have been bad. So she was like, yeah, I'm getting too used to it. Now she's being weird. So he's like, we only known each other a couple of days, but I'm really trying to get to know you like 100%. I want to know your story. I want to know about your childhood and stuff like that. He said, one thing that's been kind of lacking is that sometimes I hit a wall with questions and stuff. So she was like, okay, okay. And what? So Derek was like if I hit a wall, I want you to know me too. I feel like I haven't been able to give you much of my life story, my background. So I want you to ask me questions like that too. So Megan was like, oh, okay. So he was like, I'm not saying you haven't. That's not what I mean. It's just sometimes like when we're at a meal or something, I feel like I'm trying to keep the conversation going. I feel like I haven't given you as much as me. And I kind of feel like it's the same with you. And Megan was there like, well, I mean, what? What would you want me to ask more about? And he was like, I mean, I don't really know what you do for a living. I don't think that you really know what I do either. This is what she's saying to him. She says, I'm not trying to make it like that, tit for tat, but you haven't done anything either. You ain't told me about where you work at or nothing like that. And I just mean, I thought that we were kind of enjoying the moment. Basically, Megan is saying, I don't want nothing serious with you. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, and I'm not trying to be defensive. I just don't know. So, she was like, no, I don't want it to be a thing. I just want us to know each other. That's all. So Megan was like, look, I feel ambushed. What? Ambushed? She said, I just need me a second to breathe. That's just how I feel. I'm just aggravated. And so now I'm going to be that Megan. I'm aggravated with everybody. And I'm one of those people who just freezes up. I put a wall up between me and everybody. And I just really want to be alone right now. I said, well, God. I mean, she switched up on him so daggone quick. I mean, when I say switched up, I'm talking about switched up. Thank you, boo. Welcome. Hey, sugar. Hey, Bree. I said, why did she switch up like that? But we're going to go on back to Will and Brittany because I wrote some things in my notes and stuff like that for them too. Because I'm going to tell you, when I be getting down with the get down, y'all, I be getting down with the get down. So Brittany and Will had another conversation. Let me find it. Where you put it, Auntie? Where you put it, Auntie? Where you put it? So they decide that they're going to go out on the patio. They're going to have a good time, right? But Brittany is one of those type of women that don't know how to let stuff go. She do not know how to let stuff go. And she one of them type of people where you thought that you'd resolved the crime, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me take this tennis shoe off. When you thought that you'd resolved the crime and everything, she got to come back to the crime scene and reenact everything. So they out there talking, and so Brittany is like, I'm not really feeling romantic vibes at this moment, and that could partially be because I'm still frustrated from earlier today. Girl, if you don't get over this stuff, she said, I've been in situations before where I was intimate with someone, and then they eventually became distant. I started to notice that same feeling with Will this morning. Girl! Girl, what? So you that type of chick? You're just gonna keep going back to the over and over and over again? Now, y'all, when y'all come here, I'm gonna be giving y'all detail upon detail. Like, I ain't gonna be just skipping over these things, right? We talk about the conversation so we can have a conversation. Because the only way for us to have a conversation is that we make sure that I get the conversation that they can't having a conversation about. So we getting details over here. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video and let other people know that Auntie's advice is out here breaking it all the way down. She breaking all the clowns down. And as we continue through the season, we're going to really be breaking it down. Now, members, I had a video scheduled for y'all. I'm going to have to reschedule it because it's 9:35. Y'all know I get up at 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I don't went past my time. But we're going to have fun out here while we talking about this. Ain't we, y'all? Okay. And that's okay, Miss Kelly said, and that's on period. Okay. So let me bring back up what I done jotted down about this girl right here is stupid. Let me bring her picture up. And I don't care if it's blurred or not blurred. She getting on my nerve. And the thing about it is she's too pretty. When he met her, he was like, she pretty and all. Like, he gave her much more credit than I would have. But he thought that she was pretty and everything. She's just insecure and she got a whole lot of issues. And she wanted to bring up all the stuff that happened in her past relationship. When you go into a relationship, it's on a needs to know basis. I need to know whether or not the bitch gonna come and slash my tires. Do you got anybody that's coming to slash my tires, bust my windows out? Like, what's going on? You got any kids? Other than that, I don't need to know about your past. But we're going to get these tests done. But as far as your past and your trauma and your triggers and all that kind of stuff, I don't need to know about that stuff off the brickety break. And I don't need to be in a relationship with a man that keep bringing up the stuff that he went through with his baby mama and his old girlfriend and knick-knack, paddywhack, and give a dog a bone. I don't care nothing about that bullshit. Don't come to me with that. And you shouldn't want to be with somebody that want to know all of your past trauma and your past hurt, because most of the time they're going to use it against you. Simply Sabrina 4524. God bless your little heart. She said, I really had high hopes for them too. I think they made a beautiful couple. Oh, Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina, that's so sweet. That's so sweet, Sabrina. Here's the thing. We already know he got a whole bunch of stuff he done went through too. But he ain't dumping it on her. She's trauma dumping. Ain't nobody got time for that bull. Nobody. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't know this video was going to be this long. Okay. If y'all need me to, I'll break it down by a couple next time. Y'all let me know downtown in the chat, okay? If you want me to break it down next this Friday by couple, put a thumbs in the chat. And Ray Della, let me know. Put a thumb in the chat if you need me to break this down to make this video shorter. Okay? Okay, let me bring my notes back up. Ray Della, let me know how many thumbs up we get. Thumbs up is if you want me to break it down. So she was like, so she said, she's starting to feel the same thing about Will this morning. She said, I'm trying not to let that feed into my dinner tonight, but I'm just going to let him take the lead. So she asked, okay, so how do you feel about being married? Will was like, I think that we've had good. No, he asked her, how do you think about it? She said, I think that we had some good moments, and then we've had some moments. It's just like, we got married today instead of dating to marry. So we kind of have these expectations of what being married means. We're still working on figuring each other out, how we communicate and handle things. He said, yeah, today just wasn't perfect, right? This morning was a lot. It's definitely been an arduous, but I tried to reassure you we're actually married. So even if things aren't perfect, Brittany, we've committed to at least try to make this work. We can't just run away from the Sure, we might have a few hours where things feel uneasy or tense, but we're here for a reason. And I really care about you, Brittany. I think right now it's about learning who you are, your quirks, your little idiosyncrasies, whatever, y'all. I know I messed that up. Just really getting to know you. He said, well, let me ask you a question, Brittany. What was it about? What did you appreciate about your previous relationships? Now listen to what he asked. He asked her, what did you appreciate about your previous relationships? What I noticed in my past relationships is that I tend to move quickly. No. Did you not hear the question? He said, what did you appreciate about them? He didn't ask you what you did. He didn't ask you what you said. He said, what did you appreciate? She comes back and says, what I noticed in my past relationships is that I tend to move quickly. If I start feeling something for someone, I really stop it. I just let it keep going. I don't really stop it. I just let it keep going. But that ain't the question that you was asked. Pay attention. attention. God, it's pay attention. You so busy want to go back to the booth that you go. Oh my god. Oh my god. I noticed he said, "You mean like you moved in together quickly?" She said, "No, I never lived with nobody. I ain't never lived with nobody before. But like within a week, we'd already be like, all right, we're exclusive. Things, just always move fast emotionally." So he was like, "Well, do you think it takes a while to open up and really allow yourself to be vulnerable?" She was like, "Good question." He was like, "I mean, that's why I asked her." She was like, "Oh, finally." Thank you, Ray Dalla. They want the long ones, okay? He was like, "What do you mean, finally? You never asked these kind of questions." She was like, "I was going to get there, but then you were going to say, I took too long and you beat me to it. I allowed you to get there and you still took forever." Girl, what in the girl, what's wrong? Did you forget to put your Xanax or whatever the hell you are on in your luggage? Young, you lunching. She was like, "No, but seriously, I want to take advantage of the time we have here. Like this space. I have these and have these kind of conversations because once we get back home, it's just a different environment. I mean, I feel naturally drawn to you and physically comfortable with you. I don't want to lose that. So if we just keep having conversations like this, I learn more about you and I learn more about me. And hopefully that brings us closer together instead of drifting apart. And I still want us to have fun while we do it." So Will was like, "I completely agree with all that. But I also disagree a little bit." "Do you want me to hit you with one, Maggie?" It's me. There you go, Maggie. Y'all, what's happening? He said, "I completely agree with you, but I also disagree a little bit. I know I need to work on being more open with my emotions in the moment instead of just trying to fix whatever the problem you bring up. That seems to be the biggest thing so far, giving you comfort in those moments instead of jumping into solution mode, which what men do. Men are fixers." He said, "But that's my commitment to you. But for you, if you could just keep asking questions like this, ways for us to get to know each other, that's going to be good for me." She was like, "I could do that." But then she turns around later on because I wrote that down, okay? Hold on, let me go to that. She got on my God. She liked drama. She one of them type of girls that just be looking for drama and looking for to argue about. It's just so irritating. So they end up deciding that, they're going to have another little conversation. So she goes and she have a conversation with him talking about the girls because the girls got together and the men got together. And so what she deduced from the daggone party is that she said that she's like the other couple, that she's the reserved and quiet one. And I was like, "That's literally us." I told her, "You're Will and I'm Brittany. I'm the one who opens and wants to dive deep in those conversations." And Will was like, "No, you haven't even asked me any questions." Will said, "Wait a minute, goddamn. We're not doing this on camera. We're not letting it be like that." She was like, "I've been trying to." He was like, "How so? With your words? With your words?" She was like, "Oh, okay. So I see apparently, you see it completely opposite." He said, "No, I just think I had to be more intentional about asking you questions, and then you'll just ask me the same question back. When you do ask questions, they're very vague and ambiguous. You'll say things like, "Would you like?" And I'll respond, "Tell me something more," then and say, "What does that mean?" He said, "I didn't realize I had to be super specific. Like it should just flow, it should feel organic." So she's saying, "Okay, I just realized I have to be super specific with you. Like it should just flow organically. So listen to music, go to the gym. Okay, I want to know your favorite freaking book or favorite color. I'm trying to figure out how I could be a good wife and do some of the things you like. But you're not giving me anything. And when I tell you things like I'm giving you words of affirmation, do you like that? Do you like for me to be more affectionate?" He was like, "Yeah, that's cool." She was like, "Okay, well, what do you like when you're in a relationship? What are the things you want your partner to do?" And he was like, "I don't know." And she was like, "Those things are important to you. You said you need constant words of affirmation, but what about you? What do you like?" He said, "I'm kind of indifferent. I know it's important to you, so it's important to me. I'll do that. I don't need for you to tell me how cute or how pretty. Like what?" So then she was like, "Then what do you like? Hold my hand. What will make you feel loved as your wife? What should I be doing? What are the things that you want?" He was like, "I mean, if you enjoy not touching, that's okay." She was like, "Listen, I just said quality time." Will was like, "It's okay. I'm sorry." I was stressed up out. She was like, "Oh, it just sounds great, but we're not getting anywhere. It's just bothering me. Like, it's really bothering me." And Will was like, "I'm sorry. I'll calm down, but do whatever you need. It's okay. Everything's okay." And Brittany's like, "It's like the rainforest is on fire." He was like, "It's okay. They do control burns in the rainforest." He was like, "But what I mean is, how am I supposed to tell you how to process your feelings, Brittany? I am not going to rush you. If you're irritated, that's okay. If you don't want to be irritated, I don't know how to tell you not to be. I'll let you process things." It's just, I'm frustrated because we're going to separate. Like we're on two different pages, maybe even in different books. I need someone who can communicate. The motherfucker been doing that. He's been doing that. He said, "I'm not communicating with you." I don't know. It's like I don't even know what you want me to say in this moment. I don't think He said, "I don't think I want you to say anything." Of course you don't want anything. I like to go and take a shower. Will was like, "Almost every time you just walk away." He said, "Every question about our family or relationships or anything, I've been the one asking." And I thought I was listening. She wants to know what I'm feeling, but it doesn't make sense. I'm not extremely opinionated sometimes, and that can be frustrating. I thought it would make things easier. It's like talking to, I don't know, it's like talking to something that doesn't talk back. Like, and then she's sitting up there talking about, that's what she was saying, right? I'm sorry, y'all. That's what she was saying. She said it's like talking to these damn chicken fingers. We're trying, but it's weird. She, he said she needs to be reasonable. He said she did not explicitly say she needed time to process everything, but that's what she meant. She's so frustrated, she walks away and leaves. Where I'm from, that pretty much tells me you need space. She doesn't say it, but she's guarded with her emotions. I think that she lacks a little self awareness and motivation, and that's cool. He said, and that's where everything, that's where we at. She left for a reason. Brittany is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She has everything that you can imagine that will make one happy. She has success. She has a great job. She has her own house. She's got a wonderful, loving family. She comes from a two-parent household, but she is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when it comes to relationship because she has undealt with trauma. She has not dealt with trauma and she sees everybody under the same lens. And when you are in relationships with people, you have to understand that everybody is not the same and that the same lens should not be applied to everybody. You can't see everybody the same way. And when you sit up in bed with your brand spanking new husband and something happens and you immediately go back to some trauma or some damn drama that happened with an old boyfriend, you headed down the wrong path. Because what a man doesn't want or a woman is to be compared to your last failed relationship. She got to deal with this drama and this trauma. It is so unfair to bring other people into your drama and your trauma. And this is what she has been doing from night one. Even when they sat there at the reception, you could see the way she was asking questions and being inquisitive. And the thing about it is sometimes it's okay to be silent. I ain't got to be talking to you through the whole reception. We're going to cut this cake. We're going to have a good time. And then we're going to get to know one another. Since I'm foolish enough to bring my out here and get married at first sight, you got it all together and did not protect yourself. You had weeks. The two of them said it when they were on the bench that they knew for weeks that they was going to get married. You mean you couldn't take nothing and put it in your purse? Will is one of those guys who is a philosopher. When he sat down with your dad and he never answered your dad's question straight, he is one of those guys that got the gift of gab. And if you ain't on top of your game, he gonna make you feel frustrated and mad, and you gonna find yourself walking away so you don't go to off. He's very skilled in talking bullshit. Okay, trust me and believe me, he ain't perfect. Because I did not like. I sat and watched it with my daughter, and neither one of us liked the way he handled her father. Totally out of the line. And her mother sat there quiet the whole time. He know how to talk his way out of a brown paper bag. So she ain't gonna beat him in an argument. She needs to be able to turn a mirror on him. But she want to argue. She want to argue. Not argue. Argue. Y'all know argue is totally different from arguing. She want to argue with him, and you're not going to win. She's not going to win, and she's going to come up short every freaking time because he know how to argue. I've been out here long enough. We will be back next week. I understand from Raydella that the last calculation is that now one person put a thumbs up for a shorter video. So guess what? Next Friday, we will be doing a long video as we cover Married at First. Now, I must say this. I love the fact that Peacock went straight to the gut, went straight there. Now, I love that we have all that bull wedding and meeting the families and telling the friends and going wedding dress shopping and all the foo-la-la. We ain't had none of that, and I love that, Peacock. Peacock, I love that. Because cut all of that out. Let's just get down to it. I like the way that the format was. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Did y'all like the I love the format. Because it just went straight to the weddings. And of course, we heard a little bit of the rationale as to why, the experts put these couples together. But I love the format. And Peacock said we ain't paying for no wedding rings. Everybody getting a band. We don't have a budget to do it, and we ain't doing it. Peacock said, if you want her to have a diamond, you go buy it. We ain't got it to do. Anyway, I thank you all so much for being out here. Thank you so much to my members, to the members of Auntie's Advice. Okay. Congratulations. And to our girl, Gerthine. She says, I'm still here, Auntie, for the Foo-La-La. Love you. She's been a member with me for 37 months. Okay. Congratulations on the milestone. I love you all so much. Thank you so much, Raydella, for moderating the chat and making sure that everybody has a great time in a safe environment. Y'all, again, if you have not already subscribed and turned on your notification bells, make sure you do so. And I'll see y'all on Friday. Members, make sure your notification bell is on because I got a couple of videos that we're going to be talking about some up-to-date things that's going on. I had it scheduled, I think now, but I'm going to go to bed, okay, because I got to be up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning so I can make sure that I take care of what take care of me. I love y'all, and until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Bye, y'all.